Hi, this is T.H. Culhane for Envisaj Mercy, the Environmental Sustainability and Justice League of Mercy College, and for Solar Cities, Connecting Community Catalysts, Integrating Technologies for Industrial Ecology Solutions. What we're doing today is we're working on a solar hot water concept to keep the biodigester warm as winter approaches. It's fairly complex, so I want to go through what it's doing. What we have going on here is we have 5/8 inch outer diameter, 1/2 inch inner diameter plastic PVC pipe that is going through PEX coils, this red material here, that go through the cap of the IBC tank, and then they circulate through. It's about 100 feet of PEX, and then they come out, and then the PEX goes through a 12-volt utility pump that is powered by this Black & Decker Electromate 400 rechargeable battery, which is being recharged via this 12-volt here, and then it's going pumping the water through some PEX that is then joined to 5/8 inch outer diameter PVC plastic tube out to a coil of black Firestone garden hose, 3 of them in a loop in a box that has stretch wrap, and we'll take you outside to see that in a second. That's the basic loop, but then we have this constant issue of air that we have to get rid of, air bubbles. So we have a couple of ways to deal with that. One is this pipe here is coming from a bucket of water with antifreeze in it, that's the pinkish color, that is up on the roof of the shed behind the solar panel. And that goes down just behind the utility pump itself over here so that we can keep the pump primed, which is a big issue when you have air bubbles, you want to keep the pump. So we have gravity feed of that to the back of the pump. And then at the front of the pump, we have another T, and this is so that we can bleed air bubbles out and also fill the bucket back up while we're bleeding air bubbles. This pipe carries the water through, but it's not an ideal setup. Actually, this should be going in to the pipe. Never mind, we get a circulation going here, and then we close this valve, and then we let the draw go through and down into the coils that are inside. And so the way this is working, there's an Arduino microcontroller here, actually in this box here, you can see if we come forward. It is, it's got an relay shield on it, and we're using one of the relays, and then we've got a temperature probe going through a 4.7K resistor, the positive and the signal wires, and the temperature probe is up in the solar box. This is powered off of this USB coming through this Black & Decker emergency battery that has a USB port on it. This one doesn't, but this one does, and so we're able to power our Arduinos. This Arduino here is to measure the temperature inside this tank. We have this Arduino here with an SD card measuring the outside tank. We've got a clock on this one so that we know when the measurements were taken. But then we've got this Arduino with a temperature probe, and it's set so that when it's hot enough, when it gets up above 35 degrees Celsius in the solar hot water collector, it turns on the pump, and the pump pumps that hot water through until it gets back down to about 25 degrees, and we can play with those settings, and then it turns this pump off. And that way, every time there is hot water up there, it'll circulate it through until it cools, and then it'll turn off automatically. That's the idea here. So we generally leave this on, and with this circuit on, it's pumping. Now you can see, if I open this valve, now all it's doing is pulling the pinkish fluid from the bucket on top in just a loop, and it's driving some of the air out. When I close this, then I'm actually beginning to get some draw here. Now you can see an air bubble begin to be forced. It's beginning to make its way from the coils there. It's coming down, and there it goes. Now it goes through. Now to get rid of that, I'd have to open this up so that that air bubble can make its way out. And we have to let it go through. Actually, the air bubble didn't get all the way through. It's backed its way up there. So it does take a little bit of time to get the suction going, to get those air bubbles through the coils. And that is the biggest problem that we're facing around here with those air bubbles. So let's take a look outside to see what's going on. This is the antifreeze that is coming from the bucket that you can see up there. It's got a uniseal, a 1/2 inch uniseal, and a valve. And if you look down at where the valve is, go down the bottom of the bucket there, and you see the valve from the uniseal, and then the pink fluid is coming down and it's running into the wall here. And then we have the, it runs in and then it comes out through this pink pipe back up into the bucket when we're trying to bleed air out. But when the pump is on and we're not trying to bleed air out, as you can see from this cable here, the pink color, this is coming from the coils inside that box, and then down through the PEX, and then back up into the solar collector. So that's how the thing is supposed to work, and as long as we can bleed air out, then we should be okay on the next sunny day. Unfortunately, it's really rainy, so we have to wait at the end of the weekend for some sun to test this puppy. But thank you very much, and we hope you will try this at home and share your results with us.